G'day folks, welcome back to North Africa 41. We are up to turn 5, second half of May 1941. And I am very worried about the Allied situation. They have moved forward, they've advanced to the frontier and have held up the Germans, but at great cost, and they've lost many units in the process. So, let's jump into this. Second half of May 1941. We start the turn with a 2 supply points. So we go. I want to clone that. Can I clone that? No, I can't clone that. So let's get 2 supply points for the Axis player. Put that in Italy. Reinforcements. I should have looked at that over here. We have 1 German, 1 infantry replacement. I'm sorry. So they are placed in Italy in their base, and any reinforcements that arrive for the Germans. Now turn 5, they don't get much this turn, but well, 1 unit, but it's a good unit. And so the Allies should be very concerned. The Allies get 1 British, 1 heavy armour. Okay, so they get 1 British. How do we mark that as flip to heavy? There we go. We flip that to heavy, we get 2 supply points. Allied supply points. And their replacements for this turn, which I know is not great. It's a truck. And they have to withdraw any 1 Indian brigade. Okay. Okay. An Indian brigade. Oh, gee. Okay, I'm going to check the rules for withdrawal to see what size it needs to be. Can it be a reduced? I don't think I have a reduced Indian brigade. You know what? I'm going to, or how close to the front they have to be. Maybe I can take this guy off because they're kind of going to be in trouble. That's a real shame they have to reduce them because they're playing an important role. Priority is a full strength unit in full supply. So look, because these guys are going to have trouble withdrawing, I'm going to withdraw them. Right, yep, so I think that unit there, that's the unit I'm withdrawing. Where do they go? Removed units box? I don't know where the removed units box is, but maybe I shouldn't have done that because, removed units up here. Withdrawing units, here we go. A1 Indian Brigade. Sad. They'll return turn 14. Hopefully with enough time to save the situation. Things are getting worse. Things are getting worse for the Allies. Okay. Alright. We'll live with it. We'll make do. Okay. Now, where are we up to? Malta status. I need a 6. It's not a 6. Very close to a 6, but not a 6. So, we still have Rommel ready. He hasn't been used for a while, actually. Advanced units in the surrender box. Okay, so these Australians now that surrendered. They can now move to the eliminated box. They advance. It means I can now rebuild Australians, but really not. I don't have a problem with number of replacements available. No other upgrades available, so we get to the action phase with the 1st British Commonwealth Impulse. And we start this with an event roll. An 8 is going to be a resource point. They've got a lot of resource points available too. We can now take replacements. But I won't just yet. Okay, I've got one unit, I think, in range to take replacements, but they'll be limited to movement. I want to get them into Tobruk before I start thinking about that. So I now can roll for fortifications. Now this is not an established fieldwork such as around Tobruk, so I will need to roll for this. And I think it's the first time I've had to roll for fieldworks. I roll the die on a 1 to 3, it's complete. So fingers crossed. Yes. All right, this is an important fortification. The reason being, it is on the east side of this escarpment. Oh, it's actually downhill from the escarpment, so that's not great. But it's doubling my defense in that particular hex. It's gonna help a tiny little bit. I should also think about some defenses out here. I've already got a double 2, that's good. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't get any further than that. Hopefully, well, we'll see what happens. Okay, so fortification is complete. Remove my transport markers. I don't have any because I didn't use rail movement last turn. So we get to the allied movement phase. And I'm really going to try and get myself out of this sticky situation. All right, so I'm going to attack move away from there. That's about all they can do. These guys are going to attack move down to here. They're going to attack move to there. They will actually be able to draw supply through this road, remarkably. Now, I do not have, this is all I've got. I think I've got to pull back to Tobruk. I'm going to bring my MSUs back. Do I defend? Do I defend around Gazala there? The problem now is it's a wide open desert, so there's a lot of room for the Axis forces to just outflank me. I'm going to pull my tanks back to there. I am going to mark everyone's move so I can keep track of what I've done. I'm going to move these guys into there. Right, got to establish my defences first. I'm not going to worry about these guys for now. We'll deal with that later. Nothing around here is great for defense. Even Gazala is not really a great choke point, because if you look at the terrain effects chart, that is just a ridge hex side, halved attacking up, doubled attacking down. So when they attack down off this ridge, they'll be doubled when attacking into Gazala, which makes me think that I just pull everyone back. They've moved. They attack move there. Let's do it a little bit slowly so that I can try and preserve some of my forces. We'll pull these guys. We'll actually defend 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, we'll block that road. We'll pull that infantry back to there. These guys will go 1, 2, 3. We'll put them on the bottom. We'll pull the Indians 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, I'll put those guys there. They'll go there. Tank unit. Maybe just in reserve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5 around there. I don't feel a strong need to hold Gazala. Where am I Australian? Here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, they're going to stop there. I will move the Indians. They'll go there and I'll hold that point just in case there's some breakthrough that I can't see. All right, these guys can go 8. These guys can go 6. They're heavy replacements, good. And then I can create 1 MSU out of these supplies. And they can go 8 as well. Yep. Okay. Not a lot of options for the Allies now. How am I liking it? It started off, Norman, very slow and with no choices available. The Axis forces just drive east, and I was thinking, initially, I'll be honest, I wasn't very impressed. Now, it's fascinating. Once you hit this open, once you get choices, once the game shifts to a position where you have choices available, it becomes really interesting. Initially, you're attacking along this coastal road, you can't really go off the road, you've got to follow the highway, and it's attack here, then attack here, then attack here. Things start to branch out around this area, and once you hit here, it's really interesting. Both sides have a lot of choices available. Like right now, what do the Allies do? Do they rapidly pull back to Tobruk? Do they find some midway point? Do they fend along the front? I'm trying to do all 3 at once, which may not be a good thing. I've got this Australian brigade here. They've got options. Do I help? Look, I'm not going to defend Gazala. I'm going to pull back 1, 2, 3, 4, and defend Tobruk, because I'm just trying to buy some time for the guards to get out of there. Oh boy, it's a difficult situation for the Allies right now. Allied combat phase, no combat taking place. Allied recovery phase, they are no longer disrupted, they're still out of supply. And in the supply phase, they managed to trace supply to this road, which has been left empty. So again, they find a supply path and they can get out of there. All right, Allied delay phase, I don't think they have delay markers available, so there's nothing to worry about there. That's the end of their impulse. We flip over to German impulse. They start by rolling 2d6. It's a 9, which on the event table is a resource point. They have no resource points available. Damn, they're at their max. Did not plan that well. Replacements. So will they take any replacements? No, they're not taking any. They don't need to take any replacements. Here's an Italian armour, but the armour here has not taken any step losses. So the Italian armour is doing very well. Oh, there may be some step losses down here, yeah. But, so you can place replacements in a headquarters, but this is Italian, so I don't know if the Italians can place their replacements in the German. Let's double check this. Oh, you know what, sorry. What I did want to do on the Allied turn is spend a here we go, spend a resource point to rebuild my core headquarters. Yep. Yes, that's what I want to do. I need to bring them back. So getting the core HQ back and trying to figure out if I can use Replacements. A friendly alphabet box, a hex containing the replacement being used in a friendly core HQ. Yep, German and Italian may only use a core HQ of their own nationality. Okay, so it's coming in turn 7, I think, by the looks of it. Yeah, okay, so I've got to wait. But that's fine, no rush for the Italians. So they've got their resource points. They will also, I'll have to wait to spend the resource points in the right time. So replacements, no replacements being built, no fortifications, no transport markers, axis movement phase. Okay, so this is where I do have a truck. I'm going to convert that to an MSU, reduce my supplies by 1, get them out of the ship box, and they can go 8 minus 2 is 6. They can move up to the 6 marker. Both of these things just delay them a little bit. It's not a huge delay, which is very interesting. Okay, so now can I continue to pin down these allied forces out here? I can go tack move, block that road. I do not want those Italian reinforcements sitting there, so they'll come up to here. Tack move, pin them in. 1, 2, 3, pin them in. So we're using the Italian infantry to try and pin down this British armour. 1, 2, 3. And then I'll go 1, 2, 3. They'll tack move into there. Okay, that's the kind of Italian infantry done down the south. Now, where do the Germans, with their big units, want to strike? Maybe right on the Indian formation here. South Africans are slightly weaker in the south. Maybe I get the Italians to strike up in the north. 9 plus 8 will be 17. I can get an 18. Yeah. So we'll go in here like this, and here like this, and recapture the airfield. They'll move up. And then we'll get the Germans to come down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This formation will go 1, 2, 3, and these guys will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll actually shift the Italians down here in the south. We've still got these guys, and what can I do with them? No, they can come in here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, yeah, and not exceed stacking. I can also bring these guys in. I'm going to need some supplies. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to have to teleport back to Tripoli. They're going to go back to Tripoli. And I'm going to need to bring my MSUs up rapidly. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So now, now the German supply issues start to get worse because, well, I've been attacking a lot, to be fair, but the supplies have to go further. I have these guys in Italy, so this is a turn when I do a convoy. So let's put them together as a convoy. Pretty easy now. Let's roll on the shipping table. We'll get them to Tripoli. We have got a -2 modifier. A 9, Tripoli 7 is fine. Again, these convoys are always just scraping in. Haven't had a convoy spotted yet. It's early game though, where the Axis have that air superiority and suppression over Malta. Okay, that's it for movement. I can move my Italian, yeah, I'll move them up to here. Let's move them there. And that's everything. The Axis forces are done with their movement. So now they combat. There are two combats going on, one in the north, one in the south. This, I might move that MSU there instead to fuel this combat, and I'll get my, I'm running out of supplies. So over here we have got 10, 18 on 7, which is 2 to 1. And I've got armor superiority, 3 to 1. Okay, so 3 to 1 and a die roll of 6 is a D1 result. And they retreat 2, 1, 2. Retreat 2 or 3 hexes. But they'll surrender if they retreat more than 2 hexes. So they'll only retreat 2 and stay alive. And we'll advance down the coast, and we'll advance into there. Then this attack on the 4th Indian Division. We have got 8. We've got 30 easily, and I will have to flip them now to spend their supplies. So I've got 30 on 7, which is 4 to 1. I've got elite, 5 to 1, and I've got armor, 6, 7 to 1. Ouch. So that's not a good defensive position. 7 to 1, 4 is a DS. Surviving defenders retreat 4 hexes. They can't, so they surrender. Ouch. And they can advance 4 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just driving through here. 1, 2, 3. Right. I'm very worried. I'm very worried. Now the South Africans are cut off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can wheel around the desert. Extended movement, maybe. These guys are in even more trouble. Ah, boy, I did spend those supplies. Okay. The good news for the Allies, the one piece of good news, is the Germans are out of supplies. So, but it won't take long. These supplies will get up here next turn. They can move so rapidly through the desert, through these highway roads. Okay, so that is it for the Axis combat phase. Axis recovery, they've got nothing to recover. Axis supply, everyone's in supply. Delay phase, I believe my delay markers are on the board. So that is the impulse complete. Okay. We can now go back to the Allied initial phase. An event is a resource point. They may now use replacements, and now that these guys are they Australian? Where are my Australian replacements? They're over here. They haven't reached yet. I'm sure I had some others. Yes, these guys, British replacements. So they want to gain a step, and they have taken replacements, and that exhausts that, who can now return to the pool. So that's how replacements work. I do have supplies in Tobruk. I do have an armor replacement. I do want to get the heck out of here. So let's, no fortifications, remove transport markers, nothing happening there. Going to bring that MSU back to Tobruk. They're going to convert back to a truck unit, and they will teleport back to the Nile. They're going to revert to a truck unit and teleport back to the Nile. I have 2 supplies here, so I'll bump up that. I can't actually, so it only goes up to 4. And that will revert to a truck unit. Hold on, and revert back to the Nile. I've got a lot of supplies. Into Tobruk. Really stockpiled supplies into Tobruk. Okay. South Africans, they can use extended movement. To move an extra 3. Now, what are the circumstances under which they can use that extended movement? Mechanised units may use to increase their movement by 3, may not enter an enemy zone of control. Yep, that's fine. So I think it's an extra 1 to leave. 2, sorry. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, I'm going to put up a defence around here somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're going to stack together. So I'm kind of sacrificing the guards out there to create a stronger stack in the centre to buy myself some time. I know I really need time. All right, Australian replacements coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with that marker. Here comes some more MSUs. We'll leave that there. British infantry replacements. Okay, they can go straight into Tobruk. They can go 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. They might hold there just for the time being. I'm worried about these Germans creating a trouble in the area. And a lot of trucks, I think they've all just teleported. So, my core here can come on. They'll actually, when does that happen? In the supply phase. So they'll come on and they'll move 8 up to there. All right, now these guys, they will tack move to there. They will tack move to there. 1, 2, 3. They cannot draw supplies along that road. So this is where I have trouble. Yeah, they're going to be caught out. I did all that work to save these units and they're just going to be ground away in the desert. Okay. Begin construction of fortifications. I might try and build, I might spend a supply point. This is getting desperate now. A resource point, I'm sorry. To build a fortification here. And we'll try and defend just this region. I might also spend a supply point to build an actual fortification into Tobruk itself. Okay. And that's all. Now, Allied combat phase, no combat going on. Allied recovery phase, they recover from disruption. And that's all. Allied supply phase. Now these guys, back out of supply again. 1, 2, 3. They can get to that trail here, but then they can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they can't. They're way out of supply. And everyone else is okay. Now I can spend supply points to flip, but they're out of range now, so I can't do that. And the delay phase, and I got to roll for the delay markers. Roll for the allies. I think I forgot to roll for the Axis last turn, so they should remove 1. And then I'll roll for the allies. They should remove 2. Okay, end of that impulse. So we move now to the second Axis impulse. They roll for an event. It's a 3. What is a 3? It's going to be the Italian air support marker. All right, let's grab that. Still got Rommel. Cannot forget Rommel. All right, so I've still got Rommel. Replacements. Again, no need for replacements. Fortifications, transport markers. That's all fine. Movement phase. All right. Italians now, picking up the situation on the coast, they will smash into these guys. The truck will teleport back. Now, my biggest challenge now, they'll attack move. They'll attack move. They'll attack move. They'll attack move to there. They'll attack move to there. And they'll go 1, 2, 3 towards the coast. We'll move these guys in. The challenge is I've got no supplies. So can I get these MSUs up here in time? 5 plus 3 is 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I can make it. The supplies out in the middle of the desert. I have some supplies sitting around here. These guys can come out. They can go 8 as well. -1 is up to 7 because of the delay marker. They can go 7 as well. And they can go 7. So, I've got 3 supplies, and I don't know how many trucks I had here at the start of the turn. They will go flying through there. I had at least 1. I think I moved 1 other. So we'll convert them to an MSU, and they'll come flying up the highway as well. Okay, so trying to get supplies to the front. Supplies left in the desert there. I don't know why I did that. It's before I fully understood supplies. So I do have 1 MSU, which can fuel 1 attack. Okay. Can I put some pressure on these guys? Not attacking, just moving up. Just moving up. All right, so we have an Italian attack going on. So that's all movement complete. In the combat phase, I'm going to fuel this attack here. So 10 plus 8 is 18 on 5, which is 3 to 1. Plus an armor is 4 to 1. You know what? I can also 4 to 1. I've got all these supplies, the resources. So let's spend a resource point for the Supremo Commando, which enables the Italians and Germans to attack together. So what did I say? 18 plus 8 is 24. I'm going to shift these guys here as well. So I've got 5 to 1, 6 to 1 with my armor. Yep, 6 to 1. I do have the Italian air unit, so I've used that now, but I won't use it yet. So I've got 6 to 1, and a 4 on the 6 to 1 is a DR4 result. They cannot retreat 2 hexes, so they surrender. They're non-mechanized, being asked to retreat more than 2 hexes. All right, and I get an advance of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so on the outskirts of Tobruk now. Actually, I'm going to keep these guys here. What's the benchmark for airfields this turn? It's 3. Okay, so just as long as I catch a gambit by the end of the 3rd impulse. That's it for Axis combat. We now go Axis recovery, nothing to recover. Axis supply, everyone's in supply. I did spend that on that combat. And delay phase, so I can place my other German delay marker. And then roll and remove it. Okay. Now I can also, at the end of my movement phase, I can do port repair. Let's spend a supply point to do that. Benghazi is fully repaired now, 7 points. I should also, I'll do it in the next impulse, because the next impulse will get a -1 modifier for coastal shipping. So that's the end of that impulse. We get to the third impulse, British impulse. They roll for an event. It's a 6. That's a supply point, a resource point, sorry. I can now use replacements. Still out of range of those Australians. I do have an armour replacement. That should be removed, sorry. Okay. So, fortification attempt to complete. A 1 to 3 for Tobruk is complete. And a 1 to 3 down here is complete. Excellent. So getting some fortifications out and about. Remove transport markers, and now the Allied movement phase. So, we'll advance into that fortification now. We'll get these trucks into Tobruk. We'll get the MSU to sit here around Solemn. I'll get my corps. Might get my corps to sit around here. Do I have any more? Yes, I do. I've got 1 supply point, so I'll convert that to an MSU. And then I'll go flying up the highway to 8. Alright, so now around here. Alright, these guys can tack move there, they can tack move out there. There's not a lot they can do. Around here, let's pull everyone back to Tobruk. Alright, so let's get the Australian in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 into Tobruk. Let's bolster that. Let's pull them back to there. 1, attack, move, tack, move. They're going to be trapped. Okay, so we might just bolster their defense a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. South Africans can pull back to there. It's very difficult to disengage and retreat in an orderly manner. Alright, that's the movement phase done. How many resource points have I got? 3, that's okay. Allied combat phase, no combat taking place. Recovery. No recovery to run through. Allied supply phase, these guys are now red. 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, they are nowhere near supply. Okay, so they're now isolated. And next to enemy combat units. So they must make an isolation die roll. Neither of them are elite nor low, so that's just a die roll. The first one up top, they lose 1 step. They're eliminated. And the bottom one, lose 1 step. They're eliminated. So all that work and that entire pocket just disintegrated in the desert through isolation. Oh boy. And look at the Allied, that's the Axis. Look at the Allied eliminated box. It is full of units. Okay. And the surrender box is getting full as well. Okay. Starting to think the writing may be on the wall for the Allies here. That's it. Now in their delay phase, they place a delay marker. They roll 2 dice. They remove the delay marker. What else have we got to go? That's it. Oh, I can spend now my supplies to flip that core to their ready side. Oh boy. Okay. That's the end of the impulse. It's the final German impulse of the turn. They'd love to be able to capture this airfield, but I don't think it's possible. So, roll for an event. It's a 9, which is a German resource point. Benghazi now is wide open. So let's get these Italians in a... let's get a stack of 7. 2, 4... Actually, let's not. Let's just do... Let's get formations together. Who else do I want to send over? And those guys. So we'll do this convoy. Attempting to convoy them over to Benghazi via coastal shipping. So we have a -2 modifier, and we're going to Benghazi. So let's roll 2 dice. A 7 minus 2 is 5. Wow. Every time they do this, they just scrape in. Yeah. So they make it. That should have happened earlier. That should have happened in the movement phase. No, sorry, now, yeah. Okay, so that's happening. And then these guys are going 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll bring them up. We might bring an MSU up to there. Hold an MSU back there. Yep, so they've all moved. The truck, how many trucks do I have in Tripoli? 1. Good to know. Special transfer them back to Tripoli. Equip the other truck with that supply point. Make them an MSU and ship them up the coast to there. I can send some other units to Derna. Alright, so let's send these guys up to Derna. And we'll roll for Derna. 2d6. 12. Okay, so this is dangerous. 12 minus 2 is 4. I roll a die. If I get 4 or less, they're eliminated. That's the first shipping casualty. And it was risky, I know, but it was only one. It was a very weak Italian unit. And the other guys have to wait. So you'll be in the next convoy to Benghazi, guys. All right. Other movement. All right, let's get these guys. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. What are we going to do here? Italians looking to hold down Tobruk. 1, 2, 3. Can I get a defense on Tobruk? A defense of 16? Maybe not. Can I reach that airfield? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I can't reach it this turn. Can I smash this unit that is sitting in the way? Yes, I can. Let's do that then. All right, we'll get these guys up and we'll just sit. I didn't even think I want to sit on the outskirts of Tobruk. We'll just sit right here. We don't need to get closer to Tobruk. We can sit right there and hit this formation. Okay, so German movement complete. German combat phase. They've got defensive 11. I've got 12, 13, 14, 20, 31. I'm going to spend some supplies to power that up. I have, so 2 to 1, 30 on 11, 2 to 1, 3, 4 to 1 because of my 2 armor shifts, 5 to 1 because of my elite combined arms. So a 5 to 1 roll of 4 is a D1 result. And they have to retreat. They are disrupted. And they must retreat 2 hexes. 1, 2, they can't go there. They'll split up a bit. So if I got 4, 7, yep, I'll send these guys. they are disrupted. Coming here, they are disrupted. Coming here. Yes. Okay. And they will advance. 1, 2. Keep the pressure on. Actually, with a D1 result, I can advance up to 3 hexes. So I could go 1, 2, 3. And I'll do that. Within striking range of Gambit Airfield, not going to be captured this turn, but close to it. Okay, so at the end of my movement phase, I can port repair. There's no ports to repair. Everything's good there. Construction, recovery phase. Everyone's fine, I think. Supply phase. This is where I can now spend that to flip them to their ready side. Just frees up that truck. Okay, supply is fine. Delay markers, German delay markers. Let's put this back on the map and roll 2 dice. And it's the 3rd time in a row I think that's happened. Take it off the map. That is the end of the 3rd impulse. So we now get to the supply attrition phase. We roll for the Axis. Do they have a unit in the Tobruk sector? Yes, they do. So they must spend a supply point. Wow. From that sector. I think I can use this for supply attrition. Because I have no other supplies in this area. Okay. And the Allies roll for supply attrition 4. Do they have a unit in Alexandria? Unfortunately they do. Does it have to be a... Does it have to be a unit from this sector, I wonder? Okay. Yes, it has to be from that section of the map. So I've got to take it from, I guess, Mersa Matrua. No, Alexandria sector, sorry. That can be from any sector. I don't have one in the Alexandria sector, which I don't, that is closest to that sector. Okay, got to pick the closest one, so it has to be that one. Okay. Now we do victory point check. Now this is interesting. Benchmark is 3. They've only got 2 airfields, so again, the Allies capture a victory point. Benchmark stays at 3 for several turns. Now, oh, that's the maximum it gets to. So, if they can catch a Gambut, they've met that benchmark. But folks, that is the end of turn 5. So, I will wrap it up here, but I am very worried. I said I was worried last turn. I said I was worried at the start of this turn. I'm even more worried now. The Allies just keep losing units. Infantry units surrendering because I can't retreat, getting smashed. Losing my tank units. What do we have coming out next? Okay, we do have some forces coming. Where are the guards? I think the guards were along the coast. They got. Did they make it back? No, I think they surrendered, right? Is that the guards in the surrender box? Yep, there they are. So I don't know what happens to them if they get upgraded whilst... I think both of these units are eliminated. That's valuable, sure. Big Matildas with an armor rating of 3. Oh boy. I've got to withdraw another British brigade on the next turn. Oh no. So the British are really relying on their armor superiority because the Germans, the best they can bring is a 2 for now. here we go. These are the threes. They do have some threes, actually. It's a tough one. The attack on Tobruk begins. The question is, so no supplies for the Germans. So, but having said that, I'm pretty sure these MSUs out here, they've got one MSU. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where's that 8? Is it within range? Yes, it is. So they can get one attack off this turn. They could shift some forces around and attack maybe this hex here. It's strong. That's got a maximum of 15 defense factors. So they'll have 15 after modifiers are made. So the best the British can bring, the best the Germans can bring, sorry, is 2 to 1. They've got Matildas here, so they won't get an armor shift. They can get an elite shift, so they can get 3 to 1. So because of that fort, they don't need a heap of factors here. They could bring the Matildas in that 9th Australian Division Brigade to be defensive 8, doubled to 16, maximum of 15. So I can move that 18th Australian Brigade elsewhere. Maybe that's what I'll look to do next turn. I don't need that many defenders. What I need is more tank units, which I just don't have. All right, folks.